Alright, Danny, this is for you and your landlord. It was a pleasure meeting you guys the other day. Well, meeting him. Um, Wanted to just show you a little bit of what I've got going on right now. This is probably about 100 out of my 400 mods going on. The first thing that you can notice is it's raining outside. And actually quite a lot. Obviously she has new hair, and she also has some accessories between items that give you more carrying, such as the backpack. And the backpack, as you saw there, will actually load up with a cooking pot, a tent, a torch, an axe, one of your magical necklaces, so you can actually carry more than one, and a water pouch. Which then has a cloak to keep her warm in the cold, of course. Shield. Yeah, there's different colors of backpacks and different amulets that you can have. And shield's new, of course. And then, as well, she can put on multiple items that she ends up carrying on her back, which is nice.
You're that visitor been poking around.
Delphine looks different, as well as to
Good morning.
several other people, mostly because of
I'm the innkeeper. It's my business to
overrides.
strangers.
You in need of a companion, friend? Well, then you're in luck. I reckon I've killed more men than there are minutes in a day.
This is Gore. He belongs to the Interesting NPCs mod, who give you a whole bunch of interesting NPCs that they add. Lots more interesting conversations.
I'd say you're right. I can count the mud crabs I've killed without using my toes. I'm not big on hurting such gentle creatures.
Strong and dumb. Follow me.
Let's go.
Those- Don't know what that is. Alright, so I now have a mod that is handling him called Amazing Follower Tweaks. Also, the inn
We don't
is
get a lot of
different
travelers here.
than it normally is, as are all the textures, of course. Let's go out into the storm. When I came in, it was blowing really, really hard. So let's see if it still is. Yep, there's Gore. Ah, Brolmir. Yeah, it is definitely coming down. And apparently I'm hungry. Oh. And if you notice, he covers up with what items he might have. Let's see, there's a notice board here telling me of new quests and things. And these are my menus that I have hidden, if you notice. So I can have the map bar up on top, clock on the right. In the middle is armor, because my armor can actually be destroyed and degrade, as can the weapons. And on the bottom is hunger and tiredness, which apparently I'm hungry. I'm going to eat a stale gourd. And we are sated. Okay, so and if you notice, these two are actually having a conversation with each other all on their own. which is something totally different. They actually live their own lives and have their own opinions. New horse to buy here. And the whole town is completely redone with new storage under lock and key, lanterns, more NPCs, whole new well over here, a couple extra houses in the back. Now see, she's got on her hood and a cloak to keep herself dry. The plants are all new, of course. Back here is where they keep the chickens, which are in my way, and more storage. And a stable over here, which apparently is having a hard time with that horse. We'll just leave you be. Here is the wagon, because the city is used to do logging. So this is where people come, pick up their stuff, pick up the shipments of wood and take it out. And this is now all under lock and key for the smith. And you can see on the screen itself, the water drops that are actually hitting the lens, which is nice. More walkways added in with fishing. Another bridge over there for the shipments. More docks out here, just for on the river. A bridge that goes across, which is new. To over here, which is Coriana's Cook Shop. Apparently, this place sells food. I've never actually been in there. Another dock out here on the river. And a mine. It's turned Riverwood much more into a place that has commerce, and it has a function that most of the residents, they put towards that job. And Kjormir is the overachiever who has zero talent. More stuff for logging. The elves have been completely overhauled, so they're actually less weird looking, which is good. And if you notice, the camera there actually pulls in so that I'm talking to them, not talking, at someone on the screen. This used to actually be all the way over there. And this is a storm, I tell you what. But it got pushed back, and an alchemy shop, and another house, and another one up there got added in. And this is what it's like pretty much across the whole of Skyrim. Let's see, where's my follower? He's about. I imagine he'll show up. Oh, there he is. All over the place. New bridge. New docks down here. Makes it feel less generic, more like there's, unique cultures in each place. Obviously, the menu system itself is totally different than in the base game. That's some thunder. It's much easier to use on a PC. Dead wolf. Dude, I don't want to be talking right now. It's like really crappy out here. And I actually have mods on here that make it so you can get wet and cold, and so that you can freeze. There's a Ysmir's Falls, which has been changed. The roads have been changed. They're much more detailed. You actually have in here, this is the MCM menu, which is the mod configuration menu. It basically handles many of the mods that you add in. A lot of them actually can have menus built in for them, so that, for instance, I have currently a longsword and an axe, as well as a dagger, although you can't really, it's in there somewhere, that are showing up on my back. Normally, you only get one weapon. But that would be equipping overhaul. You can come in here and select, you know, how you want it to run and what you want it to do. Things like campfire. This is kind of a fun one. Let's see if we can find a spot and I'll throw that up. Let's see. Ow. Okay, so it's kind of flat here. So, I can actually come in here. Let's get that out. And I can throw up a tent. This is a tent that I have made. Also, you notice a lot more grass, as well as different types of plants. And there are different types of tents that you can make or purchase or even find. Let's make a campfire. I don't know that I have enough stuff to actually use it, but I'll give it a shot. Let's use this campfire. Add some kindling. Add some tinder. Okay, fire has started. Get out of the fire. Let's make that fire last longer. Add more wood to it. So now we have a fire. Put a cooking pot up. And if you notice, he's already chilling by the fire. Turn on a lantern inside. And these come with multiple bedspreads. Although the grass is really thick here. This is not a very good place to realistically to go camping. But it allows you to be able to chill by the fire inside your tent. Let's fix that view. I don't like the when you're looking through the tent. Talk to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even new. I didn't know that was there. Let's see. And with these guys, there's now a lot more options. You know, this is conversation. You can actually get his opinions.
Well, that's a problem, friend. Seeing as I'm following you, I'd rather not have to think about your
Where are you?
But if you want my advice,
There you
I'm
go.
not this way or that way guy. I just flip a coin or a bandit and let it make heads or tails of the situation.
Where are we gonna find a bandit at this hour?
Oh, I'm sure there's one close enough. Just jingle your coin purse and they'll come like a bear to honey.
You can still have him do things. And looks like this is something that actually has two different systems that are doing the same thing. Probably the amazing follower tweaks, and of course the interesting NPCs probably has its own menu for that. So you can trade things from with him, and you can actually go in and really get into details of exactly what it is he does. So let's get up. Use that lantern. Let's pack up. You can see it goes back onto my backpack there. Currently, the cooking pot is not on the backpack. There it is. Let's give you...
Everything's better honey.
where is it?
Just leave me alone.
Let's actually give you a backpack. And an amulet.
Let's go.
And he'll carry it. This actually has a neat skill system, which is in addition to the normal perks that you get for your character. Let's eat seared slaughterfish. I'm trying to eat all my stale food, which the problem with that is you can get sick. And you can get really sick. Let's exit out of there and let's destroy the fire. Or kindling at it, so we gather up the unspent fuel and set off. You look at Dragon's Reach up in the Cloud District. It's actually covered in clouds. It's not just the Imperious keep up there. It's actually lives up to its name. Fences have been added along this main run. And the bridges are now big and unique and interesting. Guards have different armor, which actually looks more like Whiterun. Also, the chains are 3D now. They didn't used to be. It was pretty awful. Gore complains about the lack of drinks. Oh, my companion's hungry. I'll be honest, dude, I'm not sure how much I have to drink.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah, I know you want the food. That's the problem. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a water skin, which kind of sucks, because I don't have any left.
Let's go.
Go ahead. It's all yours. So yeah, I now actually have to keep my follower fed, or potentially, if they're well made, they could get pissed. And they could even suffer stats-wise. Obviously now we have some more unique helmets. Hope you guys are enjoying the weather. More buildings added out here on the outskirt of Whiterun. There's a couple more buildings added, and a market out here. More buildings. I run stables. And now, if I talk to someone, if they're named, I don't necessarily see who it is I'm talking to immediately. Let's see. But if I talk to him, Skulver Saberhilt. So that when I walk up to somebody, or has consumed something apparently he just ate, when I walk up to somebody, I don't automatically know what their name is. And I don't know what building it is that I'm entering unless the building itself says on the outside what it is.
Let me know if you want anything.
Yeah, so like a closer look makes it so that if I want to get in more detail or just change the lens to get a different type of shot, like if I'm doing a screen capture, you know, there you go, something like that. Saw a campfire. Matter of time is the clock in the top right, which has the actual physical sun and the date, time. It also tells me what time it is on the bottom for me, so that if I'm up all night, I can't be an idiot. This tells me where I stand with different factions, which currently I have none. Face-to-face is the conversation camera. Enhanced blood's fun because it actually makes killing someone fun. There's a lot of blood and it's much, 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 much prettier. Campfire you've seen. Complete crafting basically takes all of the different items and things in the game and makes them balanced and makes them more logical so that when you're crafting things, what you're putting into them makes sense. It makes it so when you're mining, it's not just, 6 strikes and you get 3 pieces of ore. It takes longer to get that ore out of there, and the mine lasts a lot longer. So you could mine for a whole day and get a dozen pieces of ore. It's much more realistic. Plus there's mods that are contained inside of this one, like the cloaks, extra weapons, the winter cloaks, and the bandoleer's bags and pouches, such as the one that is on her left hip. The armor, of course, is also retextured and different. There's one of the axes that's added from the new mod, Jesus. So, honed metal helps with crafting. Frostfall is about how cold it is, which currently I don't have it on, but I could turn it on. Immersive armors adds tons and tons of weapons and armors. Immersive HUD, which apparently I had that set up incorrectly. Weird. Same with less intrusive. They both make it so the menu, all the HUD pieces disappear and how quickly they reappear and stuff like that. Loot and degradation is about how quickly, if I get in a fight, my armor can actually break, my weapons can break, which sucks. Real names, just regular NPCs like a guard, they can actually have names now. Sky UI is what gives you the MCM. The notice board is that board outside of the inn that gives you jobs, and Vivid Snow makes it so it's actually 3D snow that you're walking through. This is your food and disease mod. And Legacy of the Dragonborn is probably the biggest mod. It's this super ultimate questing / museum mod located in Solitude. Let's start up Frostfall, just for the sake of it. Frostfall is starting up. That'll actually take a couple minutes. It's an enormous mod. Makes everything so cold. And if you notice there, I had a shader on because I am freezing. And I have frostbite. Damn, that went south quick. Am I getting here? I need to warm up now. I think I gotta wait till it's fully started. Alright, you begin to warm up. You can see the up in the top right. That is how cold I am. And it will go down and then it will refill if I get warm enough. So you actually have to take care of that. If you wear big heavy cloaks, they will keep you warmer, but they will not keep you as dry. Whereas there are cloaks out there. Just help yourself to the table there, Thor. That will keep you drier, but not as warm, because they're made out of leather and meant to repel rain and stuff like that. So, we'll warm up real quick. Let's see where this is at. Alright, looks like it's enabled. My exposure is 22. I'm not wet at all currently. That, of course, will change when I go outside again. Okay.
What do you need?
Let's go, Gore. You can see my feet making splashes. That comes from footprints. God, the storm is just killing me, man.
City's closed with the dragons about. Official business over.
The helmets, actually, you can see their eyes now.
Fine. We'll be keeping an eye on you.
Excuse me, gents. Imperials are weirdly stuck there.
Just remember, everything started from
So, the city is wholly different. Has been completely redone. With new places to go. It's much more cluttered like a big city. Look out, Gore.
I'm the commander of the guard here in White.
Caius, you have a beer belly. A lot more storage. The inn and everything here. The market's bit bigger. So yeah, overall, there's tons of changes in this that make it just much more feel like a world that you're interacting with that has purpose. And keep in mind, I only have... Yep, we're wet. Great. The ground begins to steam as the rain passes. The storm is just about done. Here we are in the Cloud District in Dragon's Reach, and it's foggy. Which I dig. Yep, it stopped raining. We actually will dry off quicker if we take off the cloak, because it's holding water right now. You no longer just get cured of everything, you now pray. So it's you take time to pray to that deity, in this case from Talos or whatever. And we're so not doing that anymore. Talos is currently familiar with you. Huh, I've prayed enough to make Talos familiar with me. I've been praying a little bit before this. So you can actually be religious and have it so you don't just get things for free from praying to any deity. And if you do certain things, you get certain benefits from those deities. But if you go against what they preach, as it were, you can lose those benefits. Obviously, this whole area has been redone with
My poor Fralia thinks
Yorland
the still alive, but I'm
slash Arnold. You can now paint your shield, which is one of the ways you end up with shields that are, you know, much more like that, with unique designs on them, or at least a lot more unique designs. Nice little stairs out the back. And it's still foggy out here, because this is not actually the Cloud District. This is fog that has stayed over after the storm left. Whereas up there, it's actually cloudy.
I know your family's important to you, but we can't afford it.
Landlord, give me your
Men are all alike. Skyrim,
I don't have any more. You better give me 5 seconds right now.
It's much more... I don't even have the mods in that make the city more crowded.
Yes?
There's actually mods that make the city much more crowded. What is it, 1:40 p.m.?
Are you still working at the Bannered Mare in the evenings, Ophelia?
Nice little place to eat outside.
Training doesn't mean I can't earn my own income. I didn't...
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. Think I got the clean mug around here somewhere?
Obviously, this is a lot more busy, but I'm not sure if we've actually hit the busy part. There's I think I have a mod in here called Livelians and Taverns
Keep walking.
that makes it
We're
I'm
running
more
low.
woman than you.
much more
Do you want a
crowded.
drink?
It, yeah, I'd like a refill of water, actually.
Of course.
Thank you. You behind
Yes,
me?
Mom.
There you are.